Hi everyone. So yeah, just wanted to I guess talk about the Scrum Mum concept again. So yeah, since obviously the video regarding Scrum Mum, don't be a Scrum Mum, I think it was titled. I've had quite a lot of kind of comments and feedback, people using the term and catching themselves doing it and kind of saying, "Oh no, I'm kind of in Scrum Mum mode." So that's good. That's really good. It's obviously kind of caught on a little bit and kind of making that change and making people think a little bit about when they might be actually jumping into that Scrum Mum mode and actually kind of not kind of letting the team be as effective as they can. So for anyone who missed that video, it's available on my YouTube channel. But basically, Scrum Mum is all about, when you're jumping into that firefighting mode of trying to look after the team and mother the team and kind of nurture them. It feels like the right thing to do. And the last video kind of talked about the reasons we might do it, kind of management and then looking good in front of people and all that sort of stuff. But actually, it's not helping your team. So your job as a Scrum Master is to have that effective, team. And if you're kind of mumming all the time and doing all that kind of work, then the team aren't learning. They're not failing. They're not improving. And they're not becoming effective. So like I said, there's a video all about what a Scrum Mum is. This one is about, I guess, the signs that you can look out for and some of the ways in which you might fall into kind of Scrum Mum mode. So I've picked, there's tons of these, absolutely tons of these, and you have to be on watch all the time really and catch yourself doing them and almost tell yourself off in your mind and make sure you don't do it again. But yeah, so these are some of the kind of the key ones that I've pulled out. So how do you know if you're kind of in that Scrum Mum mode or what kind of signs are we looking for in terms of teams? So first one, I would say sprint planning. Yeah, so if you are, for example, on holiday, lucky enough to get a holiday, I know not many of us are doing that these days, but you've got a week off for whatever reason, and it falls on sprint planning week. So are you being a Scrum Mum? Are you rescheduling sprint planning for when you're back because, the team just cannot handle sprint planning without you? Well, yeah, you're being a Scrum Mum if you're doing that. So if you've been working with the team for a few months, they should absolutely be able to smash sprint planning without you there. It's their event. The development team owns what goes into that sprint backlog. You've got your product owners, you've got your full team there other than you. So absolutely, the team should be able to, smash sprint planning without you there effectively, and you shouldn't be sat at home thinking, how are my team getting on? If that is you and you are worrying or you're doing the worst thing ever, rescheduling for when you're back, stop doing it. Yeah, let the team have a go at sprint planning. By all means, give them some coaching, some guidance, but at the end of the day, they do this thing, don't they, every sprint? So they need to grow up and they need to, learn how to do sprint planning without you. So that'd be my top tip. If you're rescheduling sprint planning or you're generally worried about how the team are going to get on when you're not there, do some coaching with them, give them, a few trials of it, let them crack on with sprint planning. Without you, it will pay dividends. So other things, retros. The other thing, obviously retros, team retros, great event, one of my favourite events for continuous improvement in terms of, your team, processes, people, tools, all that stuff. So are you a Scrum Master picking up actions from that retro? Are you the one taking the actions away? If you are, guess what? You've been a Scrum Mum because it's a team event, and it's about improving the development team, I guess. Absolutely, you can improve as a Scrum Master, improve as a product owner, and there might be some actions that come out of it. But if you're catching yourself every single retro picking up those actions as a Scrum Master, you're being a Scrum Mum. So yeah, sit back, ask the question, right? Who's gonna pick this one up? Who's gonna own this improvement? You should get volunteers. If you're not getting volunteers, there's something else going on. So give that one a try. Say to yourself, right, for the next 4 retros, I'm not touching the actions, kind of thing. So that's another one to watch out for. Talked about this on my previous video a little bit, filling the silence. Ask the awkward questions, ask the uncomfortable questions. Don't feel that you need to fill that silence as a Scrum Master. And I worked with an excellent kind of coach, Steve, won't mind me saying this, but he kind of said, don't always feel like you need to fill that silence, Rebecca. And yeah, it's true. I think as Scrum Masters, we do tend to do that quite a lot. But actually, you need to just leave that to the team because they're the ones with the answers. They're the kind of collective intelligence that need to kind of be coming up with those smart answers and ways of doing things. So don't feel you need to fill that silence. And I mentioned on my last video, I used to probably leave a silence 5-10 seconds, and then you can feel that awkwardness, can't you, in the room or in the virtual room these days. And you kind of think, right, I need to say something now. This is getting weird. But now, actually, I will leave that silence, half a minute, a full minute. And as you do that, the team will feel that awkwardness and that strangeness as well. And no one likes it. We're all human. So they'll start to learn that actually the Scrum Master's not going to jump in and solve all the problems. And after a few of those awkward silence kind of moments, they'll start to learn that actually they're the ones with the answers. They've got to speak up. And it might just be the thinking. Some of these questions are hard, aren't they? That we're asking ourselves. We're dealing with complex, problems. We're using Scrum to kind of solve those. So give people time. Just accept that silence and let people kind of come up with the answers. Don't fill it as a Scrum mum or master. And the last one's got to be my favourite one, that sometimes I still fall into the trap of this, but are you sending technical emails? Are you the messenger? Because if you are, stop doing it. The team can talk to other members of the team. Well, they should be talking to other members of the team constantly. But for example, technical questions that might be outside the squad. You find yourself going something like, oh, you speak to the technical lead. Oh, can you just, let me know how I need to write that technically. And I'll send it on and get an answer for you. Like, what are you doing? You're just playing a messenger. So no, actually, Mr. Technical Person, go and have a chat with that other technical person and get the answer. Like, encourage your team to talk outside their squad. And some people are really good at this, but some people will still rely on that kind of Scrum Mum. Scrum Master will do the admin, the slavery, whatever you want to call it, and I'll get them to sort it out. Again, these guys, they need to be self-sufficient, self-sufficient, self-functioning, self-organising and managing themselves, and that's not just within the squad. So yes, a Scrum Master is there to help in terms of impediments, but those impediments should only be ones that the team can't solve themselves, and that goes for communication as well. So if we're needing something technical that falls outside the team, absolutely encourage the team to go and find that information. Like, they should not just be relying on you. And the worst one ever is, I find myself sometimes, just let me know how I need to phrase that. I'm not as technical as you, but let me know and then I'll pass it on. No, just go have that conversation. Cut out the middleman, save a ton of time, stop the waste. But it's just an easy one to fall into, an easy trap that I'll do that now and again and think, stop being a Scrum Mum, Bex. So I guess they're my top 4. There's tons more that I do watch out for, I guess, daily and stop myself doing, because I know at the end of the day, being a Scrum Mum, it's not helping the team. It's not helping my team improve and become more self-managing, which is the whole point. Please feel free to obviously leave any other examples as well in the comments. I'd love to hear any examples of how you're recognising yourself falling into that Scrum Mum role. Any that are different to the ones I've mentioned, or actually if you've listened to those and thought, that's me, and I need to stop doing those, then welcome to the club. So hopefully that's just given a little bit of an insight into, the last video we talked about the Scrum Mum concept. This video I've given some examples of how you might find yourself falling into some of those Scrum Mum kind of modes. So thank you, and I'll see you all later.